It's always fun to create conversation. It's what we do on arrow.net, ARROE.net. We are unplugged and totally uncut with actor Chris Cooper and his wife, author and playwright Marianne Leone. You two, my God, it's like you guys were living in my house when it comes to Within. I mean everything from the turkeys. I have doves. You guys had turkeys, but everything about your story in this is just so spot on.
This is great. This is great. We went into Manhattan to see this film. Invited all these 12, 13 couples were invited to take a viewing of the film and a little after party, and so. In the same respect, Rosie Perez, who did a vignette, came over with her husband to Marianne and me, and she said when we watched your segment, we were elbowing each other because we recognized so much of this relationship.
Yeah, they weren't the only ones either. Another couple came up and said, "Yeah, we elbowed each other the entire time." So.
Oh my God! Even the distance and stuff like that. Do you want me to sit over here and chew on these nuts and stuff like that? I mean.
Misophonia is more common than we know, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And it's so true. And I'll tell you one of the things that really an elbower, I guess, would be when you kept checking in with the death count, because it was because I was always to this day I'm still looking at those numbers.
It's true. It's really true. That's what we were doing. It was the only and this Chris says this is the closest role to his actual self that he's ever played, so that was fun. And the part that made me mad was that he did a quip in the scene that was funnier than anything I had written. I was so mad that he got to do that. But other than that,
Marianne's the comedian, but I came up with a good one.
You did.
During the time of lockdown and stuff like that, one of the things I was blessed with the opportunity to continue talking with creative people, but one of the things that we don't talk about is the moment of anger that a lot of creative people went through for the first 6 to 7 months. How did you guys deal with that, where you were going, I don't know what's next?
I had come off 2019. At the end of 2019, I had come off a limited series called Homecoming on one of the Amazon Prime, I think. And so I was ready for a break. And actually, I'm not too antsy about the next job. I love being home. I love being with Marianne, and I can keep myself busy with just honeydew business around the house, But after a while, you do get the itch to get back to work, and I was fortunate enough. There was a good script that shot in Boston here where we live. So I've just finished that about 3 weeks ago. So I'm enjoying this break right now,
I miss people so much that my wife goes, the only place you're going to be with people is go get a job at a grocery store. And I said, I've never done that before. And I did. My God, people in real life, that's a wow.
It's really true. And I'm like you. I miss that kind of socializing, but we got to see that every day because we adopted 2 rescue dogs. Aww. Because Frenchie, who was the custody dog, passed away. He was 17.
Who's in the film? He was in the film.
Yep.
And we adopted these 2 girl Bichons, TT and Sugar. They sound like pole dancers. They're from Louisiana. And we walk them every day, and you just meet people that you see the same people walking, walking your dog. So that was our only socializing, and that was kind of great, that being able to actually see people.
My rescue must be listening to you, because she's sitting right here behind me in the studio, and she's she's a little talker. But don't you?
We have one of those. We have one of those who goes on her back during the times when we're doing these things, and she has what I call them jogasms.
Well, I love the way that you made it relatable in the very opening scenes, in the way that you were asked if you had the mask. And then of all things, this is the part I really busted a gut on, is when you sneeze. Allergies. And because I did that too.
Because you couldn't sneeze then. You couldn't cough or sneeze. Yeah, it's too terrifying. Even now, still.
So,
in a closed place. Right?
As creative people, how have you grown forward? Because in 5 to 10 years, nobody's going to believe that any of this took place.
How have we grown from
this?
Yeah,
grown because you had alone time inside your head and heart, and you had alone time between the two of you. I mean, as creative people, you never stop growing.
But the thing is that sometimes you need that introverted time to create things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I finished the 3rd book during the quarantine. I wrote a book about rescue dogs. I wrote 5 Dog Epiphany, which is about grief and mutual healing and rescues. And actors too need to go within sometimes to just recalibrate.
And what socialite, Marianne's very, very social, and I enjoy it too. And we've gotten together with some couples. So around the dinner table, that's exactly what has come up. I've asked folks during this 2 years of COVID, have you felt a personal change, or how are you thinking or observing yourself, and can comment about it? Because I'm still trying to look at myself and wonder, how has this affected me? And I'm still wondering.
Yeah, I'm a daily writer, so I journal every day, and I got to be honest with you, I'm in fear of going back to those days from March 13th forward of 2020, because I sometimes I want to know what he was going through. Other times I'm going, just leave it there. It's for somebody else. It's not for you.
Yes. I kept a plague diary too, and it was very helpful. I do that too. I think it's great. I do miss my family though, because I miss seeing the little ones, and I didn't want to, we didn't want to expose ourselves to kids who couldn't yet get vaccinated. So that was what I missed the most, being first generation Italian, right? I mean, both my parents were immigrants from Italy. So yeah, so it was like big family gatherings are a norm, and Chris got introduced to good food for the first time.
I'll tell you, that's interesting you bring up food, because I found the kitchen. After all of these years, I found the kitchen, and now to this day, I still make a lot of soup. I love making soup.
Beautiful. I make soup every week for Chris Cooper.
The word game. What? Because everybody created the games, or they played games when they were together. What was the decision to play the word game in the episode you're in?
Spelling bee, which I'm still addicted to, from the New York Times. I'm already queen. I've already done it this morning. So I'm obsessed with that. Chris isn't as obsessed with word games as I am.
Well, you can feel that.
Marianne's the writer, and she has this massive amount, knowledge of grammar and words and all that business. Years. And I don't know how great an education I got in Missouri.
You did.
Well, I at least I attempted,
So Marianne, as that writer, do you ever, when you're putting scenes together, does Chris ever come by, read the paragraph, and bring it to life by way of his acting? Because, we'll talk about a John Lennon and Paul McCartney moment here.
Well, you know what? Chris is somebody who reads all of my scripts, and I get input from him. He's wonderful at that. And I read stuff aloud because, dialogue is important. And he's been incredibly helpful with that. He reads everything I write.
We're a pretty good team, and when I'm halfway interested about a particular script, I'll certainly ask Marianne to, take a read, and we'll discuss it. And some of the most important films I've done are, she has coaxed me to pursue, to actually, to do, because some of them I've been on the fence about, and they have proven to be some of the most rewarding jobs I've ever done.
Yeah, he didn't want to do American Beauty. He was kept.
What?
He was like,
Wow.
He was like, this script is getting darker and darker. I don't know if I want to go there. And I said, if you're afraid to do it, that means you should do it.
Right.
She was so right.
Do you ever look at yourself and say, you know, in a way, I am the Brian Dennehy of this generation? Because, Chris, you're everywhere, my man, and you pull off those roles in a really huge way.
Oh man, thank you so much. And I did, you know, I actually did work with Brian one time when we used to do movies of the week. If you remember those,
yes,
we'd have a 20-day shooting schedule and turn out these pieces. So I appreciate that. I consider that quite a reward to be compared to Brian. He was a great talent.
Absolutely. Marianne, are you gonna release a book with your writing? Because you know how they say about artwork. I mean, it moves through you. It's not for you. It's for those that receive it. So
I've already actually written 2 memoirs. One about our late son called Jesse, that was published by Simon & Schuster in 2010, and one about my mother, who was an immigrant who came here to escape fascism and an arranged marriage. Wow. It sounds so strange now. It's called Ma Speaks Up. My mother was quite a powerhouse of a woman and very funny. And so I wrote about her. And now this third book is Five Dog Epiphany, about mutual healing and grief and rescue.
Is that available online for people to purchase at this point in time?
No, my agent is just going out there with it. So we shall see. It should be soon.
I hope I get to have a conversation with you about that book when it's released then.
Cool.
Excellent.
I'm ready for it.
Well, you guys, congratulations on this movie, Within. It really is a mover. It gets inside the heart. And I think that in a really incredible way, it helps people heal because they can relate.
Oh, I love hearing that. Yeah. Thank you, Arrow.
Appreciate it, man.
Please come back anytime. The door is always going to be open for you guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Be brilliant today.
All righty.
You too.
You too.